America. I'm sorry, I had issues with my computer beforehand. However, those issues have finally been resolved, and I am sorry. My puppy is chewing on. Can you not? Come here. So finally, now I can we can kind of focus on moving forward with Mesoamerica, which is great. You guys had to check out those videos. Those are going to be great. Those are going to be great sources for you as like background information as we move forward with this chapter. Also, you guys were tasked with textbook readings, which are also going to be great as we go through this PowerPoint. You'll have a little bit more information than you would have had otherwise, and so this will make kind of obtaining this information and transferring it much easier. Yeah, can you not? Come here. You just play with this. Play with the tiger. Sorry. So looking at the civilizations of America, advanced societies were developing in isolation in the Americas, while the classical civilizations were developing in the Mediterranean and Asia. So if you look here, right, you see the Atlantic Ocean, and then over west, you'll see the Olmec. And this was 900 BC, right, this little purple area. And then if you travel over eastward, you'll see Roman Greece. Keep going east and you'll see the Gupta and the Han. We already looked at all of those dynasties and those civilizations, so now it's time to dedicate some time to the civilizations of the Americas. During the Neolithic Revolution, these nomads settled into farming villages and they became some of the most advanced civilizations. And as you see right up here, you see Asia in the west, which is connected to the Americas through the Arctic Ocean, right? And then if you keep going over in the Americas, bordering east of the Americas is the Atlantic Ocean. During the Ice Age, prehistoric nomads migrated across the land bridge between Asia and America. Okay, so that's kind of how culture was being spread. The first American civilization were people known as the Olmec. And the Olmec settled in an area known as Mesoamerica. So you will see that right on the top of the page, right? The top of the map, in the orange highlighted section, south of the Gulf of Mexico, west of the Caribbean Sea. The region in which the Olmec arose included lush forests, numerous rivers in the region that provided fertile farming land. The Olmecs are often called the mother culture because they influenced other Mesoamerican societies. They came first, so they kind of set the groundwork for the civilizations to come. The Olmecs developed a strong trade network in Mesoamerica that brought them great wealth. They were a trade society. The Olmecs used their wealth to build large stone monuments and pyramids to honor their leaders and gods, so like the one on the bottom right. We don't know why they declined by 400 BC. However, their cities and symbols influenced the later cultures, especially the Mayans. Come here. Sorry, guys. Again, we have trade, right? Trade allows for the flow and the spread of not only, food and goods, but for ideas, religion, disease. So Olmec trade allowed them to spread their culture to other Mesoamericans. While they were in decline around 400 BC, the Mayans were evolving and borrowing many Olmec ideas. When it comes to government, the Mayans were divided into individual city-states, and they were ruled by king gods. In terms of economy, the Mayan economy was based on trade and beans. We see here that Tikal was the largest Mayan city, and this was the center of trade, right? We remember how the Acropolis was a major center of trade in the Greek city-states, okay? So society for the Mayans is broken up into 5 levels. These levels are kings, which are dynasties. They are top of the totem pole, right up here. Next are your nobles and your priests. After them are your warriors. After your warriors are your merchants and artisans. And then lastly are your peasants. We've seen this before. This is very typical of a classical society. Religion. Mayans are polytheistic. We know that this means that they worshipped more than one god. They offered their blood, food, and sometimes human sacrifices to please the gods, right? So we see a leopard being sacrificed here, a woman being sacrificed here. When it comes to technology, Mayans invented a writing based on pictures called glyphs, an accurate 365-day calendar, and advanced temples, right? A calendar, we understand, and you guys have learned this since grade school, that the calendar came from Mesoamerica, okay? Here are some images of how it works, okay, right? We have a date that will be in effect in 4 dates. The calendar was round and at the beginning of the fifth world every 52 years, right? So there is a very advanced way in how it worked. Around 800 AD, the Mayans mysteriously declined, perhaps due to warfare among Mayan city-states and over-farming. This map shows us where Maya was, where different pyramid sites were, and over here we have Teotihuacan. Okay, Teotihuacan is over here pink. And then we also have Zapotec, which is here in purple. We see that Tikal is the largest city of trade. Crop failures and internal conflict lead to the decline of the Mayan civilization. After the Mayans, we have the Aztecs, and they are developing in present-day Mexico. Around 1200 CE, Aztecs arrived in Mexico and built their city Tenochtitlan in 1325 CE. Okay, here is Tenochtitlan in purple right here. This is Tenochtitlan in Mesoamerica, right? This is North America. This is the Gulf of Mexico. Aztec is the capital of Tenochtitlan. Okay, Aztec is the capital of Tenochtitlan. For the Aztecs, they formed a massive empire and they controlled it through 38 provinces. People received tribute from conquered peoples. In terms of economy, they survived on tribute and farming. They built floating gardens, which is also known as chinampas. Can you not? In their society, ranked highest were the kings, second the nobles, thirdly the commoners, and then fourthly the slaves. They had slaves. We didn't see that in the previous society. The Aztecs worshipped many gods, especially the sun god, and they made sacrifices each year. Like the Mayans, the Aztecs developed an accurate calendar, and they too built advanced temples, as you see here. It's incredible for the time period. It's absolutely incredible. Around 1500 CE, the Aztecs began to decline. A century of brutal rule over the provinces and millions of human sacrifices led to revolts. Brutal rule, right? The people decided to revolt because at this point, none of the nobles are being sacrificed. It's the commoners or the slaves. So at that point, the people rise up against the higher ups in society. However, the true demise of the Aztecs came when the Spanish discovered America and conquered the Aztecs. Okay? So the Aztec Empire started out in this little dark orange area, and then spread to this entire area right here that we see, the Aztec Empire. So it really grew in size. While Aztecs ruled Mexico, the Incas began to dominate the area of the Andes Mountains of South America. That's right down here, right here, South America. The Andes Mountains are right here, right? And we'll see this area kind of start to come together. Incan societies like Machu Picchu and Cusco remember, Emperor's New Groove, Cusco, were built in the mountains. In terms of religion, the Inca were polytheistic and they offered llamas and food, but not humans to the gods, okay? So that's a difference between them. Okay? In terms of the economy, the Inca government controlled the economy and required all of the citizens to farm for the good of the empire. So the government kind of mandated that. The society was ranked first the kings, second the nobility, and third the Ayu, which are commoners. Okay, so if you look up here, we have the Inca, Curaca, and the Ayu. Okay, these are the commoners. So they get the raw materials, give them to Curaca, to the Inca, who then create goods for the king. For technology, Inca innovations include the quipu, which was a means of record keeping involving knotted ropes as well as an extensive system of roads and suspension bridges. Okay, so here in the green is the Inca. Okay, we have the capital of Cusco right here. Based in Cusco, Inca began expansion of their empire. Right, the red indicates the red indicates the main road. As you see with the key, the desert is over here in the dotted areas. Army and messengers travel efficiently on 12,500 miles of road. So, like the Aztecs, the Incas built a vast empire which included 80 provinces. However, the Incas ruled with tolerance and unified their empire with roads, schools, and a common language. Okay, so they ruled with tolerance. This kind of reminds us of the Mongols a little bit, right? With technology, the Inca innovations included the quipu, right? The means of record keeping. The Inca were polytheistic and they offered the llamas and the food, but not human sacrifices to the gods. All right, so let's look at the demise of the Incas. A civil war breaks out in the 1520s. This divides and weakens the Inca Empire, and 10 years later, Spanish conquistadors conquered the empire. Okay. Down here, right? So this was all taking place 1438, and then this takes place in 1520 CE. So, let's look. Can you distinguish among the early societies of America? Examine the descriptions on the back of your notes. We looked at this already. You guys had to do this, but you will not have to share this, obviously, because we are digitally learning. So just kind of make sure that you check out your notes. You can fill them in. After this, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to look at your assignment. You're going to have to watch a TED Ed and then answer the questions into a Word doc. So that's what you will be submitting. So don't worry about anything else but that. We're going to continue working on our papers. Please do not put them on the back burner. We're going to be working on them. I'm going to be giving you feedback on your rough drafts. If you graded someone's or proofread somebody's, you should have sent me and the person whose you read your review of their rough draft so that they have it. Thanks so much for your patience, guys. I'm sorry that my computer's been so wacky. Your work will be due on Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon because I don't want to give you guys too much pressure to complete all of this tonight as you didn't have a lot of time. So please email me with any questions. I'll be glad to answer your email. Hopefully we can set up a Zoom session soon so we can kind of go over things that might be confusing you guys. Also just see you guys because I miss you all. And I hope you all are having an okay time adjusting during this weird time. But please reach out if you have any questions or concerns or if you need extra help, and I'll be really happy to help you. All right, girls, enjoy the rest of your day. Shoot me an email if you need to.